General Sergey Surovikin, aka General Armageddon, the new commander of Russian air, land and sea forces serving on the Ukrainian front, is blessed to have served alongside Syria's Brigadier General Soheil Hassan, aka the Tiger, whom the late Robert Fisk said was one of the scariest men he had ever met in his long and very colourful life. Sadly, when one is faced with hordes of jacked-up jihadists or NATO-funded Nazis, one needs the Tiger, General Armageddon and the armed forces of Syria and Russia they command to save the day. NATO's accounts of these two heroes, one would imagine they obliterate their enemies for fun and not out of necessity. In that, NATO's media jackals deliberately conflate these men with their enemies, NATO's proxies in both Syria and Ukraine, whose war crimes are as well documented as they are ignored by NATO's media and political mouthpieces. General Hassan's Tiger forces, as the cutting edge of the Syrian resistance, drove NATO's killers out of each of their bolt holes, one after the other. Their patriotic campaign was made much easier by the logistics and other practical support Iran and Russia gave them and the irregulars supporting them. At the heart of that support was General Surovikin, aka General Armageddon, a veteran of the Chechen and other campaigns. Because it suggests that he obliterates all that stands in his way, Surovikin's Armageddon NATO nickname is infinitely more revealing of NATO's hypocrisy than it is of how either Surovikin or the front-line Russian forces he now commands fight their wars. It is the Americans and their British and other toadies who fight like they are the four horsemen of the apocalypse, as witnessed by their shock and awe terror campaign on Iraq and how they leveled the Iraqi city of Fallujah and the Syrian city of Raqqa and all therein. The Americans destroyed Raqqa because the combined forces of Russia and Syria, along with their gallant allies from the Fertile Belt, stood on the verge of victory. The Americans destroyed their own expendable stooges so they, in Syria's east, in conjunction with Israel's air force in the west and south, could continue to pulverize the women and children of Syria and steal their resources. General Armageddon's Russians, on the other hand, boxed differently. They brokered regional peace deals throughout Syria and even allowed NATO's cutthroat retreat on the green evacuation buses to Idlib. But even there, NATO's ISIS operatives could not act honorably, and there were several instances of those savages murdering the drivers, with their most egregious crime being the slaughter of 120 Shias, over 80 of them being children, in the 15th of April 2017 Al-Rashidin bus bombing, the facts of which Irish Foreign Minister Simon Coveney and NATO's other morally challenged assets in Ireland and Syria are hell-bent on suppressing. To call these savages General Armageddon faced in Syria or the Nazis he now faces in Ukraine devils would be to libel devils. What they are is a disciplined fighting force who give their enemies plenty or prior warnings before they take their gloves off and put their knuckle dusters on. NATO, on the other hand, knocks out civilian structure and obliterates anything that moves on day one. That is what they did in North Korea, Raqqa, Fallujah and countless other places that need not now detain us, except to say that General Armageddon's forces have not yet brought such apocalyptic firepower to bear in either Syria or Ukraine. This is to bring us to the important point that we are not armchair Napoleons who can opine with any authority on what the forces of Russia, Syria or Iran's Quds force should do on any of their various fronts. Though the Tiger likes his poetry, war is not a time of poetry books but a time of strategy, tactics and cold, hard and calculated moves with the pieces one has. It is a time for the Wagner Group, Kadyrov's Chechens, Hassan's Tiger forces and General Armageddon to do what they excel at and, under General Armageddon's command, to do it in Wagnerian harmony.